All right, Felicia, you have something in your hands. What is that?
This is the Cricut Joy.
What does it do? Does it give you joy?
It does give me joy,
Then you must keep it.
I will keep it.
What do you do with that?
You cut things.
Like me?
I'll cut you.
Oh.
No,
Right.
it's an electronic die cutting machine.
So it's like the Cricut Maker, only smaller.
It's like the Cricut Maker, only smaller. It's the baby of the Cricut family.
So you're going to show us what we need to get started with this?
So if you just got one of these for a holiday, a birthday, a gift, of whatever kind, let's walk through some of the things that you need to be able to use this machine. All right, so the Cricut Joy cuts 50 different types of materials. All right, it cuts materials using mats, and it also uses smart vinyl, which we'll talk about in a second. But mats are important to have with the machine. This is what you would put your cardstock, your iron-on material, your removable vinyl, whatever the case may be, on your mat and be able to stick that and feed that through the machine. All right, so having a standard grip mat is important. Also having a card mat is important too. The Cricut Joy makes cards on these card mats that slide right into the machine. You take this mat, lift the protective cover, you put the back of the card in one side, stick the front of the card on the other, and then run this through the machine. So having a card mat and a standard grip mat are important. This standard grip mat is what you would use for vinyl, iron-on, some cardstock, but they also have a light grip mat that's purple that you can use as well for paper type products. Okay? All right, so that's key, and that's something that you're going to need for your machine.
Do they come with the Cricut Joy?
It does not come with the Cricut
With
Joy
neither?
that I remember. I can't
Okay.
100% remember what came in mine. It's been a while since I've made my purchase.
Okay.
All right, so then the next thing you're going to need is some tools. You're going to need a trimmer. This will trim your paper products, your vinyl products, your infusible ink, whatever the case may be, and it has an expandable ruler. So this is really key, and this is an important product to have. All right, you're also going to need a scraper, and this is something that's really good in helping you get your transfer tape over your vinyl and using them on your mat to stick your vinyl down really well. Okay, scissors are always important. These are the Cricut scissors. Come with a protective cover because that tip is extremely sharp. And this is Tim's favorite tool. This is the baby spatula. He likes to try, well, sometimes to make scrambled eggs with this.
I do.
But this is what you would use if you were using cardstock and you wanted to lift that cardstock up off of your mat cleanly and easily. But the most important tool, as far as I'm concerned, is your weeding tool. This is extremely sharp tip, and this is what you would use to weed out the pieces and parts of your design that you don't need. So in my case here, I have a t-shirt design, and the pieces in between that I don't need, I would use this weeding tool to pick them up and get rid of them.
Awesome.
Okay? All right. So those are the tools that you need. And let's talk about vinyl for a second. You have what's called smart vinyl. Okay, this is permanent smart vinyl. And the Joy accepts smart vinyl, meaning that this vinyl is the exact width of the machine and doesn't require a mat. Okay, now you can use this to create borders, to create wall words, to create signs, whatever the case may be, but you may not always use the full width of the design or the vinyl. So you know, if you're only using a portion of it, even though you use the smart vinyl, the piece that you didn't use, you're going to want to save somewhere. Those saved pieces that are no longer the width of the machine would be the reason you would need a mat. Okay?
Okay, got it.
All right, so there is permanent vinyl, and permanent vinyl would be something that you would put on, let's say, a mug. Now, one thing, let's talk about this real quick, the size of this. All right, the width of the Joy, which is different than the Maker, is 4.5 inches wide. So that's how wide you can get your designs to cut. It can cut as long as your smart vinyl is, or as long as your mat is, up to, I think, 12 feet. This mat is 6.5 inches. But this design could be cut on the Maker or the Joy because it is the right size to fit in this machine easily. All right, and this is permanent vinyl. Permanent vinyl can be run through the dishwasher, but it is recommended that you do hand wash. Now, we have run this one through a lot of times, can't even count that high, and it is not once peeled off at all.
Okay. Top shelf, right?
Top shelf for the dishwasher. All right, here's another example of another mug where we've run this. This is permanent vinyl. We've run this through the dishwasher without any issues.
Yeah, that's been great.
Okay. All right, so then we have removable vinyl. This is smart vinyl as well. Now, I also have, let me see here, I have bigger rolls of removable vinyl as well as permanent vinyl and iron-on vinyl. And just because of the bigger rolls that you would think that go with the maker, you can still use this vinyl with the Joy. You just have to cut it down to size for whatever it is you're making and stick it on your mat.
Good to know.
Okay. All right, so removable vinyl is something you would use on maybe indoor signs or wallboards or temporary applications. If you put this on the wall and then later go off to peel it up, it's not going to peel up. It's not going to peel up the paint on your wall. It removes easily.
Good.
Okay. Again, iron-on material would be what you would use to design a shirt. Okay.
And you don't have to use specific Cricut Joy, any
You
iron-on.
don't have to use.
HTV.
Correct, and it doesn't have to be smart
What
iron.
does HTV mean?
Heat transfer vinyl.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
good with those acronyms.
All right, and then there's also infusible ink. And infusible ink is what we have on the back of this mug here. It infuses into a sublimation mug where you can't feel anything, and it won't scratch off. I'm really scratching this good. It won't scratch off. It runs through the dishwasher. Does not fade.
So you have vinyl on one side of the mug,
I have vinyl on the one side of the mug.
but you can feel.
You
Yeah.
can feel it, you can hear me scratch it. And then the other side of the mug is infusible ink, and it's nice and smooth.
Do those both on the Joy?
I did this both on the Joy.
Cool.
Okay. They can be done on the Joy or the Maker. They can be done on the Joy easily because it is the right size.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What else do we have? When you're working with vinyl, permanent or removable, it's important to have transfer tape. And transfer tape is this clear tape that you peel up and then lay over your cut image. So if my cut image were, hey Mike, I would lay this over there and use my scraper, scrape that down, get this to stick really well, and then peel that up. And it peels the vinyl off of the backing, leaving it here on the transfer tape, allowing me then to adhere it nicely to my my cup or my cup or mug or whatever it is I'm doing, and then peel this off, and the vinyl sticks to the object. The backing comes up.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So that's important to have. Now we talked about the card mat. The card mat is amazing, to be honest. So you can buy cards in packages. This one is a pack of 10, and inside it comes with. Let's go ahead and open it up. Brand new pack. Inside it comes with inserts, and we'll talk about those in a second. It comes with 10 already scored and folded cards.
Nice.
Right? They're already scored and folded for you. So what that means is that when you go to use your card mat, you would lift up the plastic backing, stick the back of the card in, put this down on here, and now you can run this through your Joy to cut.
Sneaky.
Right? And these are some of the designs that I've cut on the Joy.
Oh wow.
Specifically. This one here is using the card plus the backing, as well as pens. So the thing about the Joy is it comes with a fine point blade to start, right? And you can also use Cricut Joy pens with it. And the only other tool that comes or that is Cricut made for this machine is the foil transfer tip. Okay, that's the only object you can use inside the attachment here.
Okay.
But these are some of the cards that you can make. This is just an insert. You would slip it into the cut edges after it cuts. And once you have it in there, you have this beautiful card, right? So here's one, we cut this and then we use pens to make the printed design. And here again, all right. So they sell these card kits in nice packs. They come with the inserts, with the card, as well as envelopes. So much cheaper, so much nicer than going and buying a store-bought card.
Agree completely.
Okay. All right, so we'll put this aside for a second. And our cards. And what else do we have here? Oh, just something else that you can maybe design on your Joy. This is a gnome. This is a Christmas gnome I created. And you can see this is made with cardstock, different layers of cardstock that fit nicely on this mat. Each piece would be cut separately, run through the Joy. But this is just another example of something that you could make on your Joy using cardstock. And an example of wall words or signs that you can make. This is vinyl added to a painted wood sign with some decorative acrylics. And here's another sign.
Oh, pretty.
Right? So this is just a stained and polyacrylic sealed piece of wood with the word hello cut out and applied, and decorative acrylics applied to them. Another neat thing for the Joy is smart label. This is writable vinyl. Okay, and this is smart vinyl that fits into the machine without the need for a mat. But if you have small pieces, you know, use them with your mat, and you can make labels like we've made here.
Well, that's adorable.
Right?
And it is rice too.
It is rice.
Who would have thunk?
So the other tool that you may want to be considering is a brayer tool. So this is just a wheel tool, and when you go to stick your vinyl onto your mat, the brayer tool really helps get it to attach to the mat and not lift up while doing the cutting. So the brayer tool is a really nice tool to have as well.
Okay.
Okay. So those are some of the tools or vinyls or accessories that you may need to get started using your Joy if you just got one.
What about light?
Having really good light is important, right? You want to be able to see what you're working on, and this is the Cricut Lamp. It's a nice swivel lamp, moves all over the place. The top here adjusts as well, and you can see the color right now is kind of a bright white. You can dim that down to more of a yellowish color. You can also dim the brightness down, right? I like it on a bright white, but this is a nice lamp, a nice accessory to have in your office when you're working, to be able to see those intricate details that you need to be able to see, to maybe if you're weeding stuff out. If I'm weeding white, so this would be white on white backing, to be able to see the cutouts for the E and the L and the O, having a really good light helps you see the cut lines to be able to pick those pieces out.
Because it's white on white.
Because it's white on white,
I see.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, great job.
Oh, one other thing, wait.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
You know, if you're making t-shirts, we made this t-shirt that says Hey Bike here. We cut that on our Joy. You're gonna need a heat press, right? And it's important to have a good heat press. And this is the Cricut 9x9 heat press. And it's like having a giant iron, right?
But you do use that as an iron.
I do use it as an iron. It's got an on and off switch, a temperature setting, goes up to 400 degrees, which is what you need if you're working with infusible ink. And that also has a timer that you can adjust to help you with the amount of time you need to press something.
Awesome.
Cricut does have a heat press guide on their website. What you do is you go out to the heat press guide, you tell it what type of machine you're using, what type of material you're using for the shirt, what type of vinyl it is, the mat you're using, and then it comes back and tells you what the temperature setting should be.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, great work. Thank you. Super, super helpful. Again, this is about the Cricut Joy, what you need to get started with the Cricut Joy. Can people subscribe and learn how to do other projects?
Absolutely. Please subscribe. We're putting out videos on a regular basis to help you learn how to use your machine.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.